Hello, welcome to our session about modern deployment, management, and security with Dell Technologies. My name is Mesut Kaptanoglu.
My name is Sven Riebe. We both working for the Modern Client Solution Group and responsible for technical enablement. Hey Mesut, our agenda today is very tough. What you want to present for our community?
Yes, we decided to have a focus on the topics around management and specifically about updating. And I would like to present the custom update catalog solution. And Sven, what are you presenting?
I will go dig a little bit deeper in the client management with a strong focus on the client update. So I give you an overview about consoles, options, and I'm pretty sure it will be amazing for you.
Great. So let's kick off basically with the custom update catalog. And yeah, we talked about updates in the recent webinars. I think it was like last year, and it's still available on the Dell Technologies Unified Workspace community as a recording and as slide decks. So have a look at it. I just grabbed two of the slides I used in that webinar. It's about the motivation. Why should we keep the systems up to date? Most and foremost, it's like the security topic. We want to keep the PC fleet secure. And of course, we want to provide the best experience. And now you maybe have some more advanced requirements. And that is where custom update catalog comes into play. So why are IT admins using that solution? Basically, to have a better control over the updates that are offered to the endpoints. So you can really dedicate it in propose validated drivers. It helps with the validation process, whether you're doing a full validation or you're just doing a stress or a smoke test, or even you're using ring deployment approach. Custom update catalogs will help you with these kind of methodologies. It helps you also to balance the automation requirements and to keep the systems compliant. And in some scenarios, you might want to avoid network traffic due to the updates, you know, the updates getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And or also your systems are in a production line and you don't have a connection to the internet. So that's where the scenario of the local repository could be a reason for using the custom update catalog. Let's take a step back and see how the regular update process looked like. So let's assume you have your fleet of Dell PCs, and then you have like Dell Command Update or Dell Support Assist for Business PCs on your devices. And these applications on the endpoints will look up on a regular basis, look up the Dell update catalog. And then this meta information provided by the catalog will be compared with the local endpoint. So DCU, Dell Command Update or Support Assist will decide which updates should be applied to this system. And if you want to have more control, or you want to apply that control from a central location, then you would use the custom update catalog. Basically, it's in between the update catalog and the tools. And then you can filter and select and pick the drivers you want to approve for your endpoints. And so you have the perfect control over it. And it's also enabling you the local repository if you wish to use that as well. Maybe the star on the Support Assist for Business PCs. For these customers who have the entitlement Pro Support Plus or Pro Support Flex, we have some automations in place that speed up the whole process. But if you have basic or Pro Support, you can use that still, the basic functionality with Dell Command Update as well. So from our perspective, from custom update catalog perspective, both solutions are supported. Let's have a short review on the local repository. Again, it's about, preventing all these downloads. You can see on the left-hand side, typically Dell Command Update would run on the system and each device would pull and get the updates. And then this might have some impact on your network, or think about systems that shouldn't go out to the internet due to security reasons and so on. And yes, there are a lot of customers that have interesting solutions, caching solutions, and so on and so forth. But if you ask Dell, what can we offer? We can say, okay, use the custom update catalog, and it will help you to create a local repository, and then the downloads will be done once. And on that central local repository you would create in your network, the clients would go there and get all the updates from that local repository. I would like to show you a small demo of the custom update catalog. Let's switch to Tech Direct, because the custom update catalog is at the moment in the Tech Direct portal. And then you could click Update Catalog, and then you have your menu with your existing catalogs. Let's create one. This is the initial process. You only have to do that once, but let's have a look. You can see that you have 3 options here for the catalog type. Again, if you have Pro Support Plus or Pro Support Flex, this both features will auto-populate all the models in your PC fleet. Let's assume that you want to use the basic functionality and select your models yourself. You will give the catalog a name, put some info in the description box, maybe also interesting for your peers if you work in a team of several people. Then you have to select the model. In that case, I say latitude, optiplex, precision. So all the commercial systems you have in your PC fleet. And let's say optiplex 7000, latitude 7330. And let's put in the 14-inch precision workstation in it here as well. And then you can see we have added 3 devices. In this workflow, you can add up to 80 different models into the catalog. Let's click Next. Select the operating system, Windows 11. Click Next. You can change the pre-selections if you want to. I leave it as it is. Same with the criticality or importance. You can do some pre-selection if you want to. I leave it in default mode. And what happens now in the back end is we will create a draft for you, a definition. And you can see that it's creating here right now. And then the existing catalogs you can also see here. We will touch on the existing catalogs in a while. So again, in the back end, it will create that draft. Maybe I should note that you have like 3 states in the catalog. You know, you have the draft, that what you create initially. Then you can push that to the test mode. Again, validation, ring deployment approach, and so on and so forth. And then you can push that to production if you want to. So let's have a look at the draft. And because of my pre-selections made in a definition, you can see that already 70 drivers are selected. Here you have a table which you can sort, of course, you know, by name, by type, release ID, criticality if you want to, or the release date. It's like, you know, a filtering system if you want to use that word. And then I can filter on the left-hand side with say, okay, I only want to have the latest ones, or I want to include the latest 2 preceding versions as well. So I can say, okay, I click this one and then can I limit the selections here. And then can I filter and say, okay, I only want to see BIOS, for example. And if I want to have more information about it, I can hover over the items here and get some information. I have release ID and so on and so forth. I can click for additional information. And if this is still not sufficient, we have the link for you for the website where you can have all the details about the update. So yeah, instead of, you know, looking up newsletters and everything is in a custom update catalog. So you have a very streamlined process to select the drivers you want to include or not include. So let's say apply another filter here like urgent, and you can see that it will filter down to this update, and I can add that one, or I could remove that, and then I could save my selection and proceed to the next states of the catalog. So this is what we do initially. But what about when I have a catalog and then I will do my monthly updates or my quarterly updates? Then you would create from the existing catalog, you would create a draft. Okay, then it will sync with the backend and will create the new draft based on the new updates. So let's have a look into that. Same view as before, but now we have additional information here to speed up the process, which is basically here the what's new section. And you can see that we say, okay, this driver is discontinued. We could have some information about that. And also we could say, what are the new drivers? And then again, I could review that and then decide, for example, I want to include that into my catalog, these two drivers, and then I click save. And then these new drivers will be added to the updated version of your catalog. So hopefully it was a short overview, but hopefully helpful for you. And maybe you want to try it out, then please do so. Reach out to your account manager or service account manager to get access to Tech Direct and to the custom update catalog. With that, I would like to hand over to Sven.
Sounds great. So I take my screen. And now we take the last 50 minutes to talk a little bit about the client management. So if you have later questions, go ahead, message, and I'm very often in Twitter. Give us some questions. So at first, I want to introduce, if you're working with Dell, you have a couple of different options for updates. I don't want to go deep dive in all situations, but on the left side, you have the Dell update package. You get all information packages from the Dell support page. And it's not a wondering, we are working strong with Microsoft. So we have since 1.5 year integrations of BIOS updates over the Windows Update service, if you want that. I want to look with you today on the Dell Command Update and Dell Support Assist for business. Business is important because the Support Assist is also available as consumer version. And there's a huge difference on the both platforms. One is management bill, the other one is not. And so it's very important, if you download anything or have installed, check if this is really the business version. At first, it's important to understand what are the differences on both platforms. So I talk about DCU and DSA. These are the acronyms we are using for both products. At first, for operation systems are the same. But if you were looking at the management console, there's a huge difference. The command, Dell Command DCU, is working since a couple of years and has a strong command line interface, but we have no centralized management for that. But I come back later and show you what is possible with this command line interface. The Support Assist has the Dell Tech Direct. I come back also as a little bit later on that. From the technical perspective, those are the same. The update engine, the deployment of packages are the same technology. We combined the technologies for 1-2 years. So let me say the engine is the same on both. If we are looking on the integration package, there's also different. You need to understand and look what does make sense more for you. DCU has a strong integration in VMware Workspace ONE VM, where you can manage profiles, configurations, see if the update is running or not. Support Assist has the Tech Direct. At the moment, the Tech Direct has a port API for ServiceNow that you can managing and monitoring your cases, but it's planned to extend it because Support Assistant has the opportunity or have the capabilities to managing and monitoring different informations more, like application crash, everything like that. And it makes sense that we providing these applications information, other information as well by API to other platforms like Intune, like Workspace ONE, however. But this is in planning and in testing now. The big point where you need to make the decision if it makes sense or not, I go short with a laser pointer, is what is my contract with Dell? Because the reason of that, some of the management features on the Dell support assist works only with Pro Support Flex and Plus. This means you need to have buying later additional services or change your offering you will get from Dell. The DCU is working with all business platforms and don't have a trigger for services. So if you have a device with out of warranty, but this device has new drivers, BIOS updates, everything like that, it will be run and updating this machine. So this is a point where you need to think about what makes more sense for you. One of the other critical points is how are you handling BIOS passwords? I'm pretty sure not all companies worldwide using BIOS passwords in the reason of complexity, but there are a lot of people in the government, industries are using that. There you have two options. The first is DCU can handling this as encrypted key or stored as a secure string in the registry, so that you have a process where you the DCU will handling for you the BIOS password in the progress of update of Thunderbolt or BIOS. For DCA, we are releasing in December last year the Central Resource Manager. It's a central platform for government. It could be very well highlight. It's on-premise, so it will be installed in your house, managing the BIOS passwords. And this will be handling with the Dell Support Assist. If a password is needed, it will look in the table and hand over to the DCU, to DSA, the right password so that the update could be run. But these are two different platforms. Depends on your need, on your support contracts. You're still free to choose the right option for you. Let us look the last minutes in a live action that you can better understand how it works. I will start first with the Support Assist. And we're looking on shortly on 3 points. The first on the inventory, where you can see contracts. We're looking on the optimization, where you find also as well the update. And a little bit a new highlight comes also into December last year, was a part of automation. But I am explaining this in a live session. So I'm moving to my browser. I hope you can see it. So this is the platform you will find and could manage the clients. You will see here an overview about your machines, healthy, application crash, security, everything. But I don't want to go deep dive on that. The best point where you can see about your machines is the inventory. And there you can filtering whatever you want. You can make specific groups. But you see at first your machines. You see the model. You can see the service contract. I go a little bit deeper. Then you get also versions, some details more about the utilization. So there's a lot of information you can get additional to the contract to your machines. Next one is the recommendation. Recommendation is a part is working strong with the support assistant agent. He will scan the machine and give you the opportunity for driver deployment, scan hardware if you have technical problems with the machine, cleaning something or optimizing stuff. I want to look with you in the update part. Important, I managed a little bit back to the part Method has taught about the catalog. If you're enabling the catalog, this means the DSA using the catalog. If you want to see this feature here, you need to use the recommended catalog. If you do this, you have then the option between view only, remote only. Remote only means you have the existing contracts you needed with Pro Support Plus and Flex. If you haven't that, you will find the device on view only, but this doesn't allow you to apply any updates. In this case, you find here my machine. I have some drivers I can remote deploy, can assign updating to the machine. It's very easy for an administrator to handling update to machines controlled. So you make the decision when will the machine make the update. A last feature I want to share with you is the remediation. Remediation means, I'm pretty sure some of you guys working with Intelligence Workspace ONE or with the remediation process on Microsoft Endpoint Manager allows you to running different scripts. I showed this like this one. And here can you see I have created someone triggered on PCs. It shows me if I have errors in the test. So at the background, if you're looking back and we're creating someone, you will see it will be running two scripts. The first is for diagnostic, which we identify if there are any changes on the machine you doesn't want, like drivers missing or the name convention of the machine is not like you want, and give you the opportunity to run a second script, what allows to change something automatically. So you don't need to investigate every time. It will be monitoring. If anything changed, it will be run automatically. I think it's a good option for customers who have the right support, have the right option using TechDirect, but they doesn't have any other solution. Now I go back to my presentation. And we look on the last part, the command update. The command update, I talked with you, had a strong command line interface, which allows you to scan and filtering whatever you want. Apply updates is also an opportunity to configure the client if you want over the command line interface. If you have complex configurations, could be make sense to configure one client, export the configuration on XML, and importing this to the other clients to run this. This is the option how you can manage it. Now you see we have a command line interface, but this command line interface doesn't allow me to get an overall view about my patch situation. And if you're going back 2 minutes, if you see the dashboard, I can see on the TechDirect, I'm creating a project for a couple of weeks, which allows me to do the same stuff in Log Analytics. Log Analytics is an Azure service, and I combine this portal, the service, with our DCU, which allows me to create a specific workbook. A workbook is a bunch of specific queries I make on a table. And here I'm creating a dashboard. I named it driver inventory, which gives me a view which devices has missing drivers, what ID of the driver. I can look as well release date, severity levels like that, and get a lot of other informations which allows me to monitoring my situation I have with DCU. So it shows you can do a lot of stuff with command line interface. You need to have a little bit creation for that, or you take my stuff and adjust it for your recommendations. But we have this stuff available. I come back to this on my slide, because what we have done for you since a couple of months is we're creating GitHub repositories with some examples where you can work on that. The first GitHub, I want to hand over to my friend Mesut. Let the guys know what you have created.
Yeah, it's just a simple query by leveraging a catalog, which is on the Dell website. And then it will check if a new BIOS version is available or not. And yeah, the good thing is you don't need any agents or clients for that. Yeah, maybe you want to try it out. But Sven has also some good stuff.
Here I'm creating some couple of or 2 years, some stuff for Workspace ONE and Microsoft Endpoint Manager. And you will find a lot of stuff for custom compliance opportunities and workflows, also for remediation. You find all the stuff I'm showing you for the DCU dashboard, and also BIOS and Dell Optimizer, and install inscriptions, how you can install Dell tools with Microsoft Endpoint Manager. So it's very helpful for your daily business. And to make it much better, Dell is creating as company as well some stuff on the GitHub too. There we have a library into script library where you find also examples for handling BIOS password management like that. And as team, we have also a group GitHub where we showing, and this is, I think, the biggest value Meso had created for a couple of weeks or months. It's a wiki where you find a lot of stuff about how you can change something or monitoring everything. There are a lot of points coming from his daily business where he learned or get a question for customers, put it in there. There you will find a lot of other things, and also scripts for Microsoft Endpoint Manager on Workspace ONE too. So the last but not least.
Yeah, we would highly recommend the next session coming up with Gus Sharira. It's about unified workspace and modern management. Yeah, would be great if you have time and have a look at it. A very interesting one. And if you don't have the time, don't worry. The event or the sessions will be recorded and will be made available for 30 days. So with that, I would like to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And it was a pleasure for us.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the sessions. Have a nice day.
Bye.